Let's wait.
Hello, Shank.
Let's wait. Yeah,
Hello,
let's wait
Sagar.
5-10 minutes.
Hi.
Okay, guys, so let's start the today's session. So, good evening, everyone. Hello, how are you going today?
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good
Yeah,
evening.
Good evening, sir.
Hello, Shank.
yeah, hi, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening. So, let's start the today's session. That is the third day back to back demo class, and this is our last demo class in which we are covering the Cisco SD-WAN solution. And my name is Shank. Let me share my screen. Okay, guys, are you able to see my screen?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me brief you guys for those who are new and just joined today itself. So my name is Shank and I am a triple CCIE certified way back. It's around 8 or 9 years I've completed my CCIE. So I am CCIE in routing switching, data center, service provider. I also passed CCDE, that is your design qualification written exam, and like CCNP, CCNA, those are way back I've done it, and also VMware certified VCP and that is network virtualization. So guys, yeah, that's it about me. So can anyone like new guys who just joined the today's session, so can they give me a brief intro about themselves so that I came to know like, and what are your expectations related to today's session?
Well, we know nothing about SD-WAN, so we like to go from zero to hero, if possible.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What else?
I'll leave the rest for others.
Hi, my name is Umair Idris and I am CCNA and NP certified, and I want to know about what is SD-WAN and what is SD-WAN technology and how it works.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you very much.
Okay.
Hi, Shank Zaidladev. Yeah, it's good to know what will be beneficial in the future. This SD-WAN and regarding job perspectives, how can this one can help us further, and what is the different and then normal WAN.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hi, this is Gaurav, and so the reason I believe everyone on this session is just like me. Everybody is gonna be network engineer, right? And we would like to understand why do we need SD-WAN, right? What's the benefit if we go with this technology as compared to normal other technologies like MPLS, right? Or any other mode of transport. And
Mm-hmm.
then the specific SD-WAN, how it's going to be different than the other vendors, right? Because VMware has got a Velo Cloud, right? Then you have Ariaka, and
Mm-hmm.
you have many players in the market. So how this SD-WAN is going to be the
Mm-hmm.
different one, the
Okay.
VPTELA one. So that's going to be the takeaway from this
Mm-hmm.
training session.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyone else want to
So,
speak?
hello, sir. This is Ajinkya here.
Mm-hmm.
In the past, I have done few certifications on Silver Peak and Oracle SD-WAN as well, but I'm not
Mm-hmm.
that much familiar with the Cisco SD-WAN technology.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I believe the components for SD-WAN on other vendors are much less as compared to Cisco SD-WAN solutions, wherein we have few more components at the different layers. So just wanted to understand uh, SD-WAN from Cisco point of view, and also just trying to understand if there are any specific advantages compared to other vendors in the market, which are also leading companies like Silverpeak, Oracle, and others as well.
Mm-hmm.
So is Cisco having an edge over those components? And if yes, then which are the specific advantage that Cisco is providing to their customers in terms of SD-WAN solution?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm also looking forward to hear that. And I'm also interested to know whether in the full course curriculum, are we doing any kind of lab for this SD-WAN technology or not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just going forward, just going to add some more into this. Can you just also explain us what's the difference between SDN, SD-WAN, and SD access
Mm-hmm.
certifications? Is it the same certification or different certification? What are their levels?
Okay.
And if suppose if we attend this full course for SD-WAN, which specific certifications are we eligible to attend from Cisco point of view?
Mm-hmm.
If you can please focus on that as well, that would be really appreciated. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Anyone else?
Nitish here. So I would like to know, means like in SD-WAN, how much deep you are going to teach us, because SD-WAN is having components like vborn, vsmart,
Mm-hmm.
v vhs, and vmanage. So there is a certification. Also, we need to have locally. It's
Mm-hmm.
enterprise certification for orchestrating authentication.
Mm-hmm.
So these also will be part of this, or it will be using any cloud controllers
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and their certificate.
Okay. Okay. What else? We have 1 minute more. So anyone
Yeah,
want to add anything? Yeah.
yeah, I had a question. So, in terms of the real world, is SD-WAN technology really growing? Are people in the enterprise
Hmm.
adapting to it?
Hmm.
Is this the right time for us to learn it? I know this whole DNA center licensing is very, very expensive. So, although SD-WAN sounds like it's the future, are people really going to be going towards it with all the licensing costs that are involved with it?
Yes.
Thank you.
So definitely towards the cost perspective, we will also talk about it. Anyone else want to add anything, or let me start with it?
Hey, hi, this is Arat,
Mm.
and the reason of attending this class is I just wanted to learn since we are in deploying SD-WAN in a Europe infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we are doing the POC with Keto, CloudGenix, VMware, VeloCloud. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so I just want to, since like for every technology in networking start with Cisco. So once you
Mm-hmm.
have the background of that, at least you have the architecture and how does things
Okay.
works. So this is a primary goal to understand this.
Okay. No problem. So I've added, I noted down all the things that you guys told me to tell, and I will definitely try to answer everyone. And if I forgot to add or answer anything, you guys, in the end, we have a Q&A session, so you guys can ask me that time. Or else, if you can see in your chat, there is a WhatsApp group on which we will answer it, everything. Okay. So now let's move on to the today's agenda. So we will cover these points today. So what is as these points, as well as what are the questions just you guys asked. So I will add those as well. So now the first point that we have is why we use SD-WAN. Like before that, what are the traditional WAN issues? Why we need this technology SD-WAN? Then what is the Cisco solution related to SD-WAN? What are the components and terminology related to that? Then there is one component that is your SD-WAN vManage. So I will walk through the dashboard of it. And lastly, we have a Q&A. Okay, guys. Also, as this is a 1.5 hour session, I will just tell you about the basics. Okay. So in our class, we will go to a deep level in which whatever terms I am speaking, whatever components I will speak, we will go in detailed discussion, detailed labs in our class. So today I just want make you sure like what are the things they are present in Cisco SD-WAN and how we can do it. Okay, so today we will just talk about the basics so that you can just get a grips of the SD-WAN solution and you can compare it with other solution as well. Oh, today we will take lab in 2-day demo class. No, we will just walk through to the vManage dashboard. As for taking the lab, there is a before doing even the first command, we need to configure everything like vManage, vSmart, whatever the components, and it takes around 1 or 2 hours. So today we will just show you the dashboard. Okay. So let me first start with someone asked the question like what is the difference between SDN, SD-WAN, and SD access. Okay. So first of all, what is this SD? This is means software defined. Can anyone explain me what is the meaning of software defined?
Basically means it works with scripting and software. Controls the device or endpoints instead of you having to make changes one by one.
Okay, so this is actually a software defined is an umbrella term. It is a very big term, okay, which has lot of meaning. Let me explain you. So the meaning is like you can say scripting we can do in our networks, we can do automation, we can do zero touch provisioning means we got our device, we just plug it in our rack, put we do the connection and that's it. After that it will come up automatically by taking DHCP IP and all those things. Then what software else defined is we can create centralized policies, okay, out of it. Then centralized managed. Anyone want to add anything?
Separation of control layer.
That we have in traditional network as well.
Okay, use of controllers.
Yes, so main point. A centralized controller that we have. Okay. So now let's talk about what is SDN. So SDN solution focuses on your data center. Okay. So now in data center, what previously we have is we have our core layer, we have our aggregation layer, and then we have our access layer. Okay, some data centers have this. Sometimes it is of two layers as well, like core and aggregation in a single layer, and then we have access layer, some type of this. Okay, so now what SDN will do is it is making this. There's a solution for it of Cisco, like Cisco ACI, application centric infrastructure. So that is a Cisco solution for the SDN, which replaces these with a different type of devices like Nexus 9000 series, and it creates a leaf spine architecture. What is leaf spine? We have two layers in which we can work. Okay, and again all the other components, these 5-6 components we can do out of it. Okay, everything. So now, like Cisco solution is ACI, then Juniper, we have Contrail, then VMware, we have NSX and other companies as well. Okay, and again the controller, this is the main thing. Okay, let me SDN component have SDNs as also SD solutions have controllers. So now this is what we called, what you guys, can anyone tell me? So what is the controller name in Cisco ACI solution?
Epic.
Yes.
Epic.
So controller is Epic. So this is actually SDN. SDN focus on your data center part. Okay, guys, you got the point. Next is we have SD-WAN. So what, before doing the SD-WAN, let me just quickly tell you about SDXs. So SDXs also have the same thing, but it is focusing on your branches. Okay, so your branch solution, your small, medium, large branch, whatever branch you have, so it will focus on that, and it has all these same things. And the controller that we have for SDXs is
DNA.
DNA or DNX.
Who's ABKM?
Okay. So this is for branch. Then we have,
Also for campus.
sorry.
Also for campus, branch and campus.
Okay. Then we have SD-WAN solution. So SD-WAN is for your, I can say, provider networks. Providers networks solution, or your, what, you have two solutions, three solutions. So what, first of all, let me tell you, like, what are the provider networks? What are the different ways you can connect?
Through MPLS, through
MPLS, DIA.
VPN.
DIA, or I can say like internet, to be simple, you know.
Yes.
And what else?
4G.
3G, 4G, LTE, 5G, whatever is there. What else?
IPsec VPN.
IPsec VPN is just, we can do it over internet or MPLS. Okay, that is not a
Satellite.
DMVPN.
So we set satellite. No, DMVPN is a topology that technology that works over MPLS or internet, over internet basically. So what else?
Metro.
Any other?
Microwave.
Wireless.
Metro, Ethernet. Okay, wireless.
Business is Ethernet.
Okay, yeah. So lot of other options we have. So guys, always remember first thing. The first thing that I want to clear, SD-WAN is not going to replace your any of this solution. It is not a alternative of MPLS. It is not a alternative of internet. Nothing. It is not going to replace these things. It is just a technology which doing these things. Scripting you can do out of it. Automation you can do out of it. I will tell you what all those things you can do. Zero touch provisioning, policies, centralized management. So these things you can do, but your underlying network will be always like this, your provider network. It's not gonna replace any one of this directly.
The connectivity still has to be there. Just
Yes, connectivity has to be there. You should have the reachability. After that, it will take care of it. So everyone clear of that part. And
Sir,
yes.
so SD-WAN basically will provide the overlay solution?
Yes, it will provide the overlay solution.
With the security.
With security, right? So I will go that when we go in that, and it has rich set of controllers. So if you see other solutions like your ACI or for SD-WAN, this you have Epic controller, you have DNA, like that. We have controllers here as well. So guys, tell me the name. Those who know.
vSmart and vManage.
Yes, vManage, vSmart, vBond. So later on we will talk about all these three key. What are these? Okay, vEdge is not a controller. It is
End device,
router with a spatial image out of it. That's it. Okay.
What is that third one? vBand?
vBond.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so these are the three controllers that we use in the SD-WAN. Apart from that, you guys know there are a lot of vendors in the SD-WAN solution. Cisco first came out with a solution. Let me tell you the history. That is iWAN. This is the solution of Cisco related to SD-WAN. And there is one company that is VPTELA, which has its own SD-WAN. Okay. But later on, what Cisco done is Cisco brought VPTELA, and then Cisco started promoting the VPTELA solution, which Cisco calls right now what you can see Cisco SD-WAN solution for enterprise networks. Got it, guys? Then we have VMware, Velo Cloud solution. We have Oracle SD-WAN. We have Silver Peak. So a lot of other vendors as well. Okay.
FortiGate as well.
Yes, FortiGate, SD-WAN and all those things. So yeah, remember this thing only. Okay. So related to Cisco, they brought VIPTELA and then they start promoting the VIPTELA SD-WAN. Okay. So guys, clear up to here?
Yes.
We will talk about all these things. Okay. So let me now just tell you very fastly about the where this solution fit, how you can do the certification, Cisco SD-WAN. Okay. Let's talk about ENCOR. ENCOR, everyone know this is a CCNP certified certification, one of the CCNP certification in which you have this core exam. And in this core exam, you have the topic of SD-WAN. So let me show you the exam topic in which you will find infrastructure network assurance, visualization, architecture. So here, what they are doing is this is the only, sorry, this is the only thing that is present in CCNP and core exam. So only your basic thing like what is data plane, control plane, and what is traditional SD-WAN and traditional WAN and SD-WAN. So nothing configuration, no lab, nothing. Just the basics of it. That is the only thing we have in the ENCOR exam. Okay. Now, if you see the ENCOR exam or CCNP exam, if I talk about CISCO CCNP track, CCNP Enterprise. So we have this ENCOR exam and we have the spatial consultation exam, which is Cisco implementation, Cisco SD-WAN solution. Okay. And these are the complete topics what we have. Like it is divided into 6 parts. One is your architecture. What is this? What is that? Then your deployment of the controllers, your router deployments. How can you do the router deployments in SD-WAN? What are the policies you can do, control, all those things. What are the security things you can configure in SD-WAN or how you manage it, automation and all those stuff. Okay, so this is a complete exam track. Those who want to note, just note down this exam number. That is the exam you can give of Cisco SD-WAN if you want that certificate. Okay, then those who are going with us for the CCI track, we have SD-WAN covered in CCI as well. So let me show you CCIE Enterprise SD-WAN. Oh, CCIE Enterprise syllabus. So we have software defined infrastructure in which we have SDXs, we have SD-WAN. So this is the part which has SD-WAN. So you can say like if you have all the SD-WAN solution, so this is around 55 to 60% we have in CCI exam as well. Okay. So that is the third thing. So these are the 3 ways or exams in which you will get the SD-WAN solution. Any issue up to here, guys? Any question?
that specific paper 300-415, can we directly give it if
Yes,
suppose anyone
you
don't
can
have
directly give it.
DNA,
No,
we can
no
directly give it, right?
prerequisite. Yes. And even if you give CCNP and core as well as your this paper SD-WAN, you will be passed. You will get a CCNP certification as well.
Okay.
Okay. So this is towards the certification point of view.
Okay, so Cisco is basically promoting their SD-WAN solution through the we can say mode of certification as well.
So every technology what Cisco have, they have a certification out of it. That's why people are taking the certification and they will become expert or professional, and according to that we have the market value, right?
Yeah, yep, true.
Yes. So that is what we have. Okay. So now let's start. This is I have done it for the some of the questions you guys asked. So let's start with this. Like, what are the traditional WAN issues? So can anyone tell me, like, who is already working on SD-WAN, or even if you are working on your WAN environment? So what are the issues you guys getting in a traditional
Management.
WAN?
Not resilient.
Not.
Lack of performance.
Just a minute. Let me write it.
Latency.
All those
Packet
things. Not resilient. Management. What else? Slowness.
Expensive.
What else?
Configuration.
Management.
Complex configuration.
So routing or configuration,
Okay.
complexity.
Not able to change transport automatically via an application.
Hard to monitor.
So your application, yeah, application visibility, you can say, like application you're not. Nowadays you guys know that applications are very fragile. They are very dynamic in nature. Even we have a lot of applications on the cloud as well. So application, our network need to adapt as per application need nowadays, right? So that is also one of the advantages of SD solution. That is your software defined solution. So remember that. So application visibility. What else?
But isn't it, the application supposed to have fault tolerance, right? Because network should be out of the way. So application should work independent of the network, because once you have set up the network, right? Because network doesn't need to change for the
Yes, but again,
application.
now what is happening here is your application is closely tied with the network infrastructure. So for example, those who know about the vMotion and all that stuff. So again, if you want to do the vMotion and if your network is not ready to adapt it, so that will be a outage issue, right?
No. So for example, can you give an example when you're saying network is not, because in vMotion, you need a control plane VLAN on the V kernel, right? Of the NSX side. So if you have that VLAN connectivity, apart from that, what else you need from the adaptation point of view?
So for the adaptation part, if I let me give the one example is like what is the application I can say availability. If I want to see it from the network point of view, can I see it? So this SD solutions also give you the option to get your application visibility as well. Like you can
No, but we are talking about the adaptability. So visibility is a telemetry part. You're talking about vRealize or Insight, right? And
Right.
VMware terminology. But right now we're talking about adaptability. So adaptability and visibility, two different components, attributes.
So
Right.
again, if your application is residing into the different infrastructure, if I can say, like it is in the cloud or it is on-prem on all that stuff, okay. And if it is in the cloud and you are using the OpenStack as well, and it will do the automation. So your network should also do the automation so that it can do the application. Like if you just spin a role and your application is ready, so your network should also be ready, right? I don't need a manual intervention out of it. Okay,
So,
what else, guys? We have different media types, you can say.
Cost.
Cost is also a factor. Sorry.
More bandwidth utilization.
Utilization. Okay. What else?
QoS.
One most important thing you guys are forwarding. Let me write security.
ECMP.
SNMP. What it has to do with
ECMP.
issue?
I'm saying ECMP, equal cost.
Okay, equal cost load balancing. Okay, so that we can put it in here, routing and configuration complexity. Okay, so there are other issues as well, but let's take all these 9-10s.
I think cost is also an important thing. If the company's got a lot of branches, like MPLS could be really costly.
Yes, right, definitely. So that is also, I written the cost here on the 7th point.
Scalability.
Scalability is also, you can say, okay. So there are a lot of these features. So let me just start with the SD-WAN, and then we will see like what are the issues we can able to solve out of it. So for SD-WAN, we can manage your entire infrastructure through single management or single pane of glass, you can say, or management, or you can say controller. Okay, and you can push all configuration through that directly. Then you have a option to choose application wise, application aware traffic towards your circuits. So if I want, like, I have a critical application or I have a particular type of SLA for that application, and I want only to MPLS circuit, like it should go via MPLS only. So I can choose. And if I want, like, okay, this is not a much critical application, or I can go it with internet. Okay. So guys, what is the difference between MPLS and internet? Just a quick advantage of any disadvantage out of it, if you guys can tell me.
MPLS is guarantee bandwidth.
Okay, guaranteed.
Guarantee QoS or something.
So internet is not secure. So MPLS is more secure than that.
Not secure, the security. And what else we have is cost
The
associated.
stability. Stability. Less jitter and MPLS than net.
Yeah, so that is reliable stability. So these are the some of the factors. So again, you need to take care of like what you can do out of it. Okay, then in your SD-WAN solution, you can create a secure tunnels over your any of the infrastructure. Doesn't matter what are those, and these secure tunnels can be created automatically. So these are the overlay tunnels. Okay, guys. So guys, I am hoping like you know the concept of overlay underlay. Anyone having not know about that concept?
Please explain this, please.
Okay, so we have one concept of overlay and underlay. So underlay is your infrastructure, direct connected infrastructure. Like for example, let me tell you about the example. Like this is, for example, internet, and this is, I have one more router. So this is like IP. I give one IP, I give one IP. Your ISPs will provide you the connectivity between these. So now you have a reachability. Now what you can do is you can create a secure tunnel over it. So your secure tunnel, you can take the encapsulation, whatever you want. So let me take it IPsec. So IPsec protocol, what it will do, it will do the security with the encryption and all the algorithms it has. And now your traffic is encrypted when it is going over internet. Okay. So this underlay connectivity that your ISP is providing, it is called underlay. And what tunnel you are creating over it, that is called overlay. Okay, so there is already an infrastructure over which you are creating a tunnel.
Overlay is a logical basically.
Yes, so you can say it logical and your physical connectivity end to end. So we have other protocols as well, like GRE also. You can create GRE tunnels, all those things, VPN tunnels, so those things. Okay, so your secure tunnels you can create out of it. Okay, then cost. So now you can save a lot of on the cost. There are 4-5 factors here. One is you have now the option to send your traffic over internet as well on a secure way. So like in the non-critical sites, you can save on your MPLS bandwidth as well. And also because we are doing the management through a single point. Okay, so that also save our cost, right? And definitely, if I can say, this technology can save persons as well. So that is something I can say bad news, because again 10 persons work will be able to do by 2 persons. Okay, then what else we can do? We
You
don't
can
need
easily
to.
integrate with cloud.
Yes, you can do it with cloud or on-prem, that is your premises, wherever you want to deploy it, you can do it. Media types we not care. So let me see. So resiliency we checked. Okay, management we done it. Slowness. So now you have the metrics. You will get all the details about all paths, and you can shift your traffic either statically or dynamically from one path to another. Okay, so it will tell you about the congestion and your latency, delay, jitter, everything in advance, and it can do the traffic out of it. No routing complexibility. I will talk about it later, like how we can set up, like we have one more component here, VH or CH, that is actually a router with a specialized image on which you can do the tunnels between those. Okay.
That can be virtual as well, right?
Yeah, there are two versions, virtual as well as physical.
I
Then
have a question regarding the latency. Is Cisco doing dedupe and all that stuff as well, just like other SD vendors, SD-WAN, SD vendors, to reduce a little bit of latency for the
yes,
TCP apps?
yes, they are doing it. And you have application visibility that we covered. Cost we can do. So some areas you can save the cost. You can save cost on your resources. You can save cost on your MPLS circuits. You can save cost like in a like if you are having a single management, so a lot of the licenses cost you can save. So again, it is a balanced way. QoS, we can do inbuilt QoS in our SD-WAN solution as well. So that is same SD-WAN. We can also put QoS in a very simplified way as compared to traditional. Security, I already told you. IPsec tunnel scalability. So there is a zero touch provisioning option. What we can do is you just take the router, this VH or CH, Cisco will ship it to your like your branch site or data center, wherever you have it, and you just need to plug it in your existing infrastructure, and it can take configuration from the centralized controller. Okay, so it can take configuration from that. So this is what we can say scalability, like in a minutes we can have it up without doing any configuration and all. So that is also an option. So these are the some of the traditional WAN issues, and that is why this SD-WAN is born, or companies are jumping into it and doing it. So guys, to answer the question, like we should start working on this technology. We should do it, our certifications or all that thing, or if you are not going for a certification, you can at least learn it. Okay, because that will gonna help you as well. Okay, so next topic. What is our components and terminologies in SD-WAN? So before jumping into that, okay, no problem. Let me show you the models as well. Okay, so the main physical or virtual components that we have is vManage, vSmart, vBond. So these are our controllers. Okay, and these are VM images or virtual images that you get from Cisco. Okay, now how will you deploy it? You have two options. One is on cloud. Okay, and another one is your own premises, your own data center, or anywhere else you want to put it. I will tell you the like what is why we use vManage, vBond, vSmart later on, but these are the things. Okay, so now if we talk about cloud, we have, what are the cloud options we have? Major one.
Mirage, Mirage,
Cloud options.
Mirage,
Google,
like
AWS.
AWS, Google.
AWS Azure.
AWS, GCP, Google Cloud, Azure. Okay. So now the fourth option is Cisco is giving you Cisco controller as a service.
UCM.
Yeah, that is but not is not popular. So Cisco controller as a service. So Cisco also can host your controllers. Okay. And again, in backend, Cisco uses AWS. So Cisco can also hold your you will get a what you can say is subscription from Cisco, and Cisco can hold your controllers in their cloud.
just a
Then
quick question relating to this. So when
Mhm.
it comes to cloud technologies, what do you think, which one is the most used one?
It depends on
AWS.
region to region, person to person, company to company. It is not like I can just be biased on anything, so that I can't
Okay.
commit. Yeah, commit as of now. But you guys know the market leaders, right?
The pioneer is AWS.
Yes, but again, it depends a lot of things. Like if you are in the, for example, if you are in EMEA, although all these companies have data center everywhere, but suppose I am just for a example, let me tell you, like if you are in EMEA and for example, where you have data center and you don't have the GCP cloud server, or it is not really close to your data center, so you can use the AWS because they have it. Okay, so you will get a less latency. So it depends a lot of things. So when choosing the cloud, you need to think a lot of things. So on premises, you can use your ESXi server to deploy it, or you can use KVM. So these are the only two options as of now. Uh, we don't have any other option. So Microsoft Hyper-V is right now not supported. I need to check again with the Cisco docs whether it is supported now or not. Okay. So any issue up to here, guys? So let's move to the next thing, that is fourth component that we have. It is VH or CH. So now, guys, again, this is actually a router, but now they have two options. One is V, one is C. So what is this? This is actually VPTELA image router, because Cisco brought it, but they are in process of migrating everything to CH. And this one is CH, that is of Cisco router, Cisco created router. So there you have two options. Okay. So either you can deploy VH in your cloud or CH in your cloud. Right now, both routers Cisco is selling. So let me show you fastly VH.
Is there any benefit using VH over CH or the other way around, or it's just the marketing, branding?
Yes, marketing, branding, but there are some of the things that you can see in the data sheet if you are like what are the performance and all the stuff.
Okay.
So again, for the VPTELA OS routers, we have these models: VH100, VH100B, that is for Ethernet, M, that is integrated modem as well. Then we have SFP models, we have 1000, this, and some of the ISR router that are we are running VPTELA image, ISR 1100, ISR 1100, this, okay. And for the Cisco, we can use it ISR series, ASR series, then ECNS. It is some platform CCNS 5000, and then these are our virtual VH Cloud. This is a virtual router, and CSR 1000V. This is Cisco virtual router. Okay, so this is the virtual cloud element that you can put. Okay, so this is the data sheet, complete data sheet, where you can see like what are the specifications, what you got out of it, all those stuff.
So hardware would be of Cisco itself. Only the images can be iOS and the VPTELA OS. That's the only difference.
Yes, right now even everything of VPTELA is of Cisco only, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So this is actually the hardware part that I want to tell. So, okay. Let's move on to the next thing, that is what we are using, why we are using vManage, why we are using vSmart, and why we are using vBond. So again, guys, I'm not going into much detail out of it because we need to see our time as well, and but I will tell you the basic things. So now vManage is our, so these are the three controllers, right? Oh, here it goes. Stop it here. So vManage is for our management. Okay, and whatever the configurations you need to push, you can say configuration. Okay, then we have next element, which is used for our control plane. So can anyone tell me about what is control plane?
Control the routing information.
Control plane means configure routing, configure VLAN.
Okay, so controls,
Yeah.
routing, switching, your tables, your routing
Table, MAC
protocol.
address table.
Yes, all tables, your routing protocols. So make you can say like main decision maker, right? Like how the traffic will go, from where it will go, and all those stuff.
So V management means like management control, management plane.
Yes, it is a management plane, right? Let me type fourth one as well here, VHCH. Okay, so VSCH is your data plane. They actually forward your traffics. Okay. And now this spatial vBond, this is your orchestration plane. Let me tell you what is the meaning of orchestration plane. So what it will do is it will authenticate your devices. It is, you can say, like security plane. So when your any, like for example, right now in your infrastructure, you have this vEdge configured on your site 10. And if you have deployed a new site, okay, and you got one vEdge here on the new site 20. So now it will try to register before starting communication. It will try to register with your vBond, and vBond will authenticate it. Okay, you are the like router which is I want to give the access. Okay, and then it will authenticate and it will passes it to the vManage. Okay, you are authenticated. The method that they use are through certificates. Okay, and they have other list as well, like you can put the serial number, chassis number already. Like if you brought it from Cisco, you get a serial number, chassis number, so you will put it in the vBond beforehand, and it will do the authentication based on that and certificates. And then it will pass the information. Okay, it is allowed to configure, it is allowed to add in our network. It passes the information to vManage passes it to vSmart. It will get its all routing and all the stuff, and it will then register it. So I will talk about all the tunnels and all later on, like how it will do it. But again, so this is what we can say is the function of this vBond. Like it will do the authentication of your devices, and it will distribute your lists of all the devices that needs. Okay, and it needs public IP. Or there is now Cisco also support the netting concept as well, so you can also do the net, but it is better if you go with public IP. Later on in the class, I will tell you what are the pros and cons of these things. I'm not gonna want to go in depth out of it right now. Okay, so any issue up to these four things?
Yeah, just one question. In our traditional MPLS or traditional routing switching, we don't have a management plane. We only have a control plane and data plane. But here there are two additional planes like management.
Because you don't have the centralized controller.
Okay, got it.
No,
Yes.
you do have the management plane, which is the out of band. Nobody uses it. That's the thing, right?
But it
Because
is
if you
again, you have it in a particular device, right? So whatever is your edge device, you can use it like from the management, you have it. So if I talk about the traditional device, it has console port.
Right. Yes.
It has management port.
Right.
And these are your line cards, like your normal ports.
Yep.
So this is your data plane. Your management control pose, you can say your management plane. And in the router, whatever your tables where they resides, these are your control plane. So we have all these three planes in traditional as well.
Yeah.
In a single device. What is new here is this, which adds extra layer of security.
Hey, what's the reason that it has to have the vBond has to have a public IP?
Yeah, like your edge devices need to connect to it first. Okay, you can go with the private as well, and you can do the net as well nowadays. But again, there is some pros and cons out of it, which we will discuss later on. Okay, so I need to just.
I have a question. So let's say okay, so we talked about different components in the SD-WAN, but which component can sit on-prem basically out of these four components? Because let's say vEdge is sitting locally on-prem, do we need a public IP? or vBond is sitting locally on-prem, then you don't need a public IP, right? Or it has to
On
be in public cloud across the
so
internet.
again, what I am saying is you can set it both in the public or private, but there are pros and cons out of it. But that topic we will go in depth. So I don't want to go in depth as of now in this class. So once we do the course, I will tell you advantage and out it. But again,
Okay.
this is also you can go anywhere, like whatever you want to put it on prem, whatever you want to put it in cloud. So you have the choice. Okay.
Okay.
And guys, if you put everything one like single, like you have a single vManage, single vSmart, and single vBond. So this is always a single point of failure option. So guys, you can do it in cluster as well. You can put it multiple as well. Okay. And one thing is your vManage supports 2000 devices, a single 2000 edge devices. So again, if you have more than 2000 edge devices, you need to get one more controller. So scalability, if you want to do, you can do it. So up to six vManage you can set as of now. Cisco is working on increasing the limit as well, but this is what, so up to 12,000 edge devices you can do it.
And these components are gonna be all virtual, right? vBond,
Yes.
vSmart, vManage.
Yes,
No.
these three.
Okay,
These
hey, hold
three.
on. Go ahead, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so these three are all virtual. These three you have option of physical and virtual.
Excuse me, the three controllers is possible to run in part of iOS or in a router, or need only virtual machine?
No, didn't get your question. Tell me again.
The three controllers, it's possible to run in part of in a router, or only
Cisco, what is the first word you are saying, Cisco?
So
yes,
he's
yes,
asking
in Cisco.
three devices, right? The controller attributes. Can you run it on a router or not? That's the question he's asking.
No, we cannot run it on a router. These are the VMs.
Are they just one program, different components of one program, or do they have to be on separate machines or one machine?
On the single ESXi host, on the single host you can put it, but these need to run as a separate VM. So you get one VM for vManage, you get one VM for vSmart, you get one VM for vBond.
Perfect, that's clear now. And then what kind of communication has to be between the three? Like you usually do redundant connections, just one single connection? Because they have
So
to
it depends on how much redundancy you want. So definitely to avoid the single point of failure, you should have a redundant connections out of it. Okay. And you should also have a device redundancy as well.
Sure.
So
and then so that's good.
Yes. So you should have a device redundancy, you should have a link redundancy. You can put these devices into different regions as well, like one is in America or AMA region, you can say. One you can use in Asia or else anywhere else, or EMEA, Asia Pacific, and you can put it in different region as well. It depends, or in the single region, wherever you want to put it.
So let's say for the control plane cluster, you have three of each of these components, right? So can you do like the EMEA region talks to the EMEA vManage and vSmart, and then the APAC ones they talk to the APAC, or is there a setup that only primary is gonna respond to all the requests and rest of them are gonna be just to sit there to maintain the quorum for the clustering?
Yes, so for the vManage, that is only active standby right now.
Okay.
So you have only one active vManage at a time, and then rest will be secondary. Rest the vSmart, you can do it active as well.
And even for vBond as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So how does this work? You said you can have up to 6 vManage. We just will put one active and then the other 5 all and standby?
Yes, so there are 2 points you are doing out of it. One is your if your active fails, standby will take over. Okay, so that is the first point. Second point is if you have more than 2000 edge devices, you have no option but to take the second vManage as well.
Oh, only supports 2,000 devices.
Yes, as of now.
Sorry, for the redundancy, what is the standby and dead time between them?
So let's not go into much of the technical detail. Even right now, to be really frank with you, I even don't remember the times of these things. Yes, because again, I used to work on a lot of platforms, didn't remember these things. I just need to do the show commands to get the times.
And
thank you.
Yes.
So what is the
Sorry.
what is the difference between SDN and SDA and SD-WAN?
So I already covered it in the beginning. So you can see the recording and you get to know. I guess you joined some late.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
I have a quick question. So when we are saying only one vManage can support 2000, let's say for this year we have 2000 sites, and next year we are planning to have another 2000 branch locations, right? So now if in the this setup only one vManage can be primary, so what's going to happen to the new 2000 CH devices or VH devices? Are we going to set up a separate vManage, and for that vManage we have to have a separate standby? So is it going to be 4 vManage VMs which we need to spin up? Basically, the first 2000 they have one vManage, so it needs a standby peer. Same way, the new 2000 sites which are coming
No,
online.
as you get the second one, you are having the ability to get 4000. Got it?
Oh, so basically, the moment you get the
This
second
ability
one,
will be on the single vManage or by using both vManage. Like you say, one vManage can only handle 2000 devices.
yes.
If we add 4000 devices, we will use two vManages. And if one vManage fails, what will be about
See,
redundancy?
what I was saying is you can go, like, it is not about handling. It is about the how many edge devices you can get out of it. So if you have 2 and you are going above 2000 limit, even if your one fails, they will work. Okay, that is not a problem. But
no, so data
if you
plane
have 2001, you cannot run it with one. So do not combine the limit with your vManage number of instances.
Okay, it means if we have 6 vManages, with one vManage, we can handle 12,000 devices, right?
Yes, you can see it every device in one vManage.
Okay, okay, fine.
Okay. Okay, guys. So let's move on to the other components that we have. So
Hey,
one.
can I ask one more question? Sorry about that. Hey, as far as the 3 management panels, only, and I just want to make sure I understood this correctly. Only vSmart has to be connected and be talking to V edges or C edges, right? The other two, which was it, vSmart and vManage, they don't talk directly to V edges.
No, they also talk like vManage. Like I'm not got your question. What? Repeat again.
Oh yeah, sure. So in the demonstration, you pointed out that initially, I guess maybe I didn't think about this deep enough. So you mentioned that initially when the vManagers they want to come up, start communicating, vBonds start talking to that process of verification or authentication, right? So is it true or maybe not true that only vManage have to always communicate with the V edges, and then maybe vManagers and V.
So your V edges will first create a tunnels with your vBond, then they create the tunnels with your vSmart as well.
Okay, so they all talk to V edges. Gotcha.
Yes,
all right.
Right. Okay.
So they won't speak with vManage at all, the edge sites.
So edge sites, yeah, vManage is for your management plane only.
Okay, got it.
Okay, guys, so let's move on to the next topic as I have less time. So I just want you to get the whole picture out of it. So we will park 15 minutes later on for the questions. So infrastructure, or you can say VPNs. So there is a concept of VPNs in SD-WAN, and what they do is it is same as what you have VRF in Cisco. Okay, so what happens is Cisco brought VPTELA. So VPTELA uses VPN. That's why Cisco right now using the VPN concept, but it is same as what you got in VRF. So what it do is you have a separate routing table. Got it? Guys, any issue, questions? And by default, you have two VPNs configured, that is VPN 0 and VPN 512. So VPN 0 is your what you called as a transport VPN, or I can say your control VPN, and VPN 512 is your management VPN. So guys, let me just pause a share for a second. Let me show you one pic. Okay, so are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes, we can see you.
Yes. So if I let me open it with Paint. Okay, guys. So now this is our topology for this, and here if you see, let me first explain you all the components. Then I will talk about this VRF and VPNs stuff. Okay, so this is our headquarter side or on-prem side, in which we have vManage, we have vBond, we have vSmart. Okay, and there is one more component that we need to put, that is our CA server. So certificates, for certificates, okay, that vBond uses to authenticate the vEdges. And in this this is a simple site. Okay, no vEdges here. It is just having a site of controller. If I want, I can put vEdge as well here. Okay, but it is just a topology. Then we have this delta site, in which we have one vEdge here. Then we have this vEdge here. Then we have two vEdges here on this site, gamma site. Then eta side, we have two more vEdges. And then on the beta sides, we have CH. So this is Cisco CH. Okay. Then the transports that we are using MPLS. We will use internet, and we will use 4G LTE. Okay. So this you can see is our service provider, in which we have different service provider, this middle portion. Okay. So your interfaces that are towards service provider, this, those who are not speaking, can please put your mic on mute. This, okay. Not on the controller side, because this is not the VH. Okay, so this, or I can say, if you want, towards this, and this, all the green arrows. So they are part of your predefined VPN, that is your VPN 0. And VPN 0 takes your transport traffic. It will build your overlay. Okay, so it will, let me put it in black. Overlay tunnel. Okay, So your IPsec tunnel, it will create VPN 0. And suppose, for example, if I am sitting, okay, I am sitting here, for example, this is user, this is me, and I am managing my vManage, I am managing my vBond, and I am managing my vSmart. So these are all interfaces which are connecting to my switch. Okay, and this is how I am connecting to it. So these interfaces, what I have highlighted in black, these are part of VPN 512, and 512 is your management VPN. Got it, guys? So now these are the two VPNs, and whatever data traffic you want to send, you have the option to configure VPN from 12655. I guess the complete range is about up to 635. I'm not remember the complete range, but this is the range you can create, and this you can use for your data traffic. So my all tunnels will go over this VPN. Okay, so you can say my control plane traffic, my VPN, that is my management plane traffic, will go over this VPN, and my data traffic will go over the service. So this is called service VPN. And you,
So I wanna ask a question.
yes.
How do I use the VPN 512?
So this is actually VPTELA, what they done is they said, I guess previously what they used to use is from 0 to 512 only. So what they done is they reserved the first one, they reserved the last one. Okay, so that is what they are doing. But when the Cisco brought VPTELA, they increased the range from 1265535. But now it is embedded in the code. So again, Cisco leave it as it is. So you have 0 and 5 and 2. Got it?
So I use 512 to send the configuration to vManage, vBond.
Yeah. Like it is for your management only, not to send the configuration. It is to take the management thing.
So I can control vManage and vSmart only.
Yes, if you want to, if you want to take the management access out of it, you can do it. Okay, but if you want to send any information, so that will go over your VPN 0.
The transport VPN. Okay.
Yes, over the transport VPN. So all your configurations, all your tunnels will be created over this, and your data traffic will go over
VPN 0.
From VPN 1265535, and leave these two, 0 and 512.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So this is okay.
What's the recommendation? Is that so you wanna configure one per site, one VPN per site for data, or?
No, that is not any other recommendation. It depends on your infrastructure, existing infrastructure. Just remember, by default, your VPN, which is equivalent to your VRF in Cisco world, they cannot talk to each other by default. Okay, so if you're, because these have a separated routing table. Okay, so if you want to talk between them, then there is a concept of VPN or VRF leaking, but that is a separate concept. Okay, so if your route is in particular VPN, so this is actually on the design point of view, how your existing infrastructure is set up. If it is a part of, like, for example, you have one company XYZ, and it is running with your two VRFs, your VRF for sales and your VRF for marketing, right? These are the two different things. So you do definitely create two VPNs out of it. Like one for this, you can create VPN, for example, 10, and this for this, you can create VPN 20, and they will work, no problem at all. So that depends on your existing infrastructure. SD-WAN has nothing to do it. It's just a mapping. This is your old infrastructure, and this will map to your SD-WAN infrastructure.
So is it something like VXLAN, VLAN to VLI mapping? So similar kind of concept?
No, it is just simple VRF. That's it. Nothing
No,
else.
in normal network, you don't use VRF. VRF is a very special use case, right? Where you have overlapping networks and you need to keep the routing table separate. Otherwise, in campus.
Even let tell you, if I worked for around 10 companies, I have seen around 6 to 7 companies using VRF. So that is not a special thing that use. Lot of the even enterprise companies are now using the VRF concept. Or even after, if you see cloud technology, where the companies are giving access to their customer for the cloud, they are
Oh,
definitely
because they
gonna
don't
use
want
for
to get
VRF.
the routing table mess up. That's the only reason they're doing VRF, right? In a
Yes.
campus, when you are.
Previously, what happens is in the service provider networks,
Mhm.
what is going to happen is they have different customers, so they used to work on the VRF only, right?
Yeah.
Because
Right.
they are
Yeah.
getting the same routes from a different customers. But
Yep.
now
Yep.
companies also using the VRFs to segregate the customer, or you can say segregate the domains, subdomains, your business lines, etc.
But I don't see a need for it because
It
you can do
depends.
it VLAN through VLAN as well. Because the way I see it, and correct me if I'm wrong, only where your subnet is the same, VRF is gonna come into picture because it's above layer 2, right?
Yes. But again, if I talk about some companies like SAP, okay, this is not a service provider company, right? But
Yeah.
this is now the leading cloud solutions. What they have solution. I didn't know the modules of it, like HRMS something. They have finance. They have so different of solutions, right? Databases and all. So
Right.
they used to work on the VRF. Lot of VRFs they use, right? So that is how it depends on your company organization. If you have if you not have the VRF in your organization, you are not using it, you can put everything in a single VPN, but you need to specify one VPN only. You need to specify it, okay? Because by default it only your controller have only these two VPNs, so you need to
So where
specify.
is basically define this VPN? It's gonna stay till the edge device, right? It's not gonna go
Yes.
southbound across
No.
the entire network, right?
No, it just terminated on your edge. That's it.
Oh,
It
got it.
it is only for your SD-WAN. Nothing, it has nothing to do with it. So if I talk about here, that's it on your edge devices.
So
Okay.
basically, just to make a decision on the edge device that, okay, which tunnel for which department or network, basically,
Yes. So
right?
if you have again the same thing, different overlapping networks, or if you have done the segregation for something else for
Mhm.
your reliability, or you can say like uh, b- to ease the configuration, all the stuff. Okay? So you will get the VPNs.
And the policies are gonna be pushed before this VPN comes into play or after the traffic enters into the tunnel, right?
So
You're,
policies is a completely different point of things here. So let me I will go on the policy as well. So just let me complete this thing first. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. So I guess already we are having like we scheduled the session for 1.5 hours, but let me just take the 2-3 topics as well fastly and in the basics. So guys, you can to know. So in SD-WAN, you are creating the tunnels, right? You are like, for example, this is your V edge or C edge. This is your C edge. This is again one more V edge. So you are creating the tunnel as per your, if I say just one, this is your VH1, this is your VH2, this is your VH3, this is your MPLS, and this is your internet. Okay, so you will create tunnel over MPLS. You, if you want, if you are using internet as well, you create tunnel over internet as well. Again, for this VH also, you creating a tunnel over MPLS as well as over internet for the below VN. Okay, so this is actually this tunnel over MPLS, and this is the tunnel over internet. Got it, guys? And for C edge as well, you are getting a tunnel over MPLS and over internet as well. So how if you have 2 providers and 3 sites, so basically you are creating 6 tunnels, 6 IPsec tunnels. Okay, and the protocol that used to carry your routes is OMP, Overlay Management Protocol. That is the full form. So OMP is the protocol which carries your routes inside the SD-WAN infrastructure. So I will not go in deep because we are having short of time, but this is the protocol. Okay, that what we have, it is, you can like say similar to BGP. Okay, which carries your traffic inside the MPLS environment. Then the next point here is there is a concept called TLOC. That is your transport locators. Okay, so what TLOCs do is, suppose this is your one edge device, this is your another edge device, and you have this MPLS circuit, you have internet circuit. So one tunnel will be via this and another tunnel will be like this. So TLOC is it is actually a 3 tuple where the first one is your system ID. It is like your router ID, like what we have in router ID. Second, it says the encapsulation, which is IPsec, you can say. And third one is your color. So they use this word color, which represent your WAN circuit. So for every circuit that you take, it will create a TLOC. So now this is your TLOC for MPLS, and this is your TLOC for internet. Okay, got it, guys? Any issue?
So basically, TLOC is for a secure tunnel.
TLOC is, you can say, represent your circuit, but it has these 3 parameters. It will tell you about these 3. So one is your system IP, which is like your router ID. Another one is what is the encapsulation and what circuit it is going on. So that is also a term here in SD-WAN. Okay, and also SD-WAN is making BFD, bidirectional forwarding detection. So every tunnel, if it creates, it will create a BFD session as well, so that it came to know if any problem happens in a circuit, you came to know instantly in milliseconds. So if you have 2 tunnels, you will have 2 BFD session. If you have 10 tunnels, you have 10 BFD sessions. Okay, so later on, the 2 more concepts that we have is, one is templates in SD-WAN. So template is you can set like if you want to put a particular configuration, you have these 3-4 steps in a configuration that you want to put on the 200 WAN routers, your edge devices. Okay, whether it is VH or CH. So you can create a single template in which it has 4 steps, and you can push it in a second on in the 200 devices. So this is the power of SD-WAN. In a single second, you can push it in the 200 devices, and they will configure these 4 parameters what you configure. So that is why we use templates. The other thing is policy. So if I want, like for example, I have this topology, and this one as well. If I'm advertising a prefix, these are all my edge routers. Okay, I'm advertising a prefix. I want that prefix to be learnt via this site, but I don't want this prefix to be learnt via this site. So I can put a policy. Okay, I want to configure the policy so that this if I talk about 1, 2, 3, 4, so my 4th edge device will not get that prefix. Again, if you have 4 sites and for example, single MPLS provider, how many tunnels you will create? So one it creates it with this, one it creates with this, one it creates with this. So this router will create 3, and similar way this router will create with this, and this router will create this. So n minus 1 by 2. So 4 into 3 by 2, 6 tunnels. Okay, so this is the default behavior, but I want my this router will only create tunnel with this router. Like this is my first router, this is second router, this third router, this is fourth router. I want my first router will only create tunnel with second, and it will only create tunnel with third. It will not create tunnel with my fourth router. So I can do it. So I can create logically a hub and spoke topology. So different topologies also you can do it via policies. Okay. So there are two things, templates and policies. So these are the two things by which you can do these things. Okay guys, so let's move on to our last topic today. So this is how we already set up everything in GNS. This is actually I'm running vBond, vManage, vSmart all powered on in our GNS. So let me go through the dashboard of vManage. So once you go to the vManage, you will see a screen like this. You need to put your username password. By default, it is admin. And you will end up onto your vManage dashboard where you can see your vSmarts. Right now, I have not put any certificates, so that's why they're not showing in the list. Your vBonds, how many edges you have, how many sites you have, which has full connectivity, if any sites have partial connectivity, and vManage, how many reboots you have done, what is the speed of your transport interfaces, what is the percentage utilization, what is your WAN edge health? It is normal, warning, error, then application aware routing. What is the average latency you are getting, loss, jitter, everything you can see it here. What is the total edge inventory you have, total authorized, total deployed, total who are in staging stage. So this is the main dashboard where you can see. Then your VPN dashboard. If you when you set up the VPN, you get all the VPN details here. Then the next is your monitor tab, in which you will see the geography, like where are your edges, where are your controllers, everything. Okay, so these also you can see it geography wise. Then network tab we have in the monitor, all the network, like I have a vManage which is reachable, what is the version, what is this. Then colo, if you have colo clusters you can see it here. Then if you have any alarm you can see it here. Then events, what are the events you got it, login, all those things. Audit log, like what are the things I have done up to now. So certificate I was trying to get. Okay, then configuration of your devices. So see, this is WAN edge list. So once you get your, you have two options. There is a, right now Cisco is using smart account, if you guys know. So you can get your smart account contract and directly sync it, and whatever the WAN edges licenses you have, you will get it here. Okay. And if you want a manual, if you have a manual serial file, you can also upload it here. So there are these other options. Then you have a controllers. So right now I have only vManage because I'm not seeing others with it. Right now I not installed the certificate. So for certificate, this is my CA server which is running. This is my certificate server from where I can download the certificate. Like I have done download one root certificate. So this is the certificate which I can install on my vManage. Even I already installed it. So This is how you can put the certificates out of it. Then your design, it will show your design, like how it is circuits, what are the data centers, what are your branches. You can create your design, you can create your templates. Like if I need to push a particular set of configuration on the 500 devices, I can put it from here. So I can create a device template, I can put a particular feature template if I need to configure. There are some pre-defaults templates that Cisco already give it, like if you want to configure the AAA to all your edge devices, you can use this template. So like that. Then you have a policies tab. So in the policies, we have centralized policy, localized policy. So different type of policies, we can set it. Then security tab, we have security policies. Then on the clouds, what we can put it. Then SSH, if you want to do to any of the edge devices, you can directly do it from here. Then your maintenance, your software upgrade, your device, any device you want to reboot, and everything you can do it from here. Then your settings, your users, your cluster management setting, if you have more than one vManage, integration, VPN groups, all those things. Your vAnalytic for doing the vAnalytics. Right now we not install the vAnalytic. So these are the different tabs which you can see it here, and you can do a lot of configurations out of it. Then over the top, we have this cloud option. What are the tasks that I have done? What are the alarms I have it? Like I have installed the root change in certificate, how I log in, and help as well. Okay, so this is vManage dashboard. So guys, any questions? So now let's move on to the Q&A session for 10 minutes, and then we will wrap up. So tell me guys, do you have any question here?
Is BFD by default? Or
Yes.
we need to manually configure BFD?
No, you don't need to configure it manually. As soon as your tunnel is up, your BFD will work.
Okay. And since all the secure tunnels are IPsec based by default,
yes.
Suppose if I want to capture Wireshark, so how can we see the authentication or three-way handshake messages, because everything is encrypted? Then how to?
Yes. So if you want to do the Wireshark and all those things, so that thing you can do it, but like how you are doing in your normal network, the same way you can do it. Okay. But inside that, the payload, the data, that is encrypted.
Everything would be encrypted.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, Mr. Shank.
Yes.
Yes. I just want to find out for this SD-WAN training, how are you going to be implementing the certificates? Are you going to be using a Windows-based machine or a Linux-based machine? I just want to know what the scenario is for this.
So we have two options. One is your Windows-based, and another one is your Linux-based. So here we can use the OpenSSL to create the certificates, right? And this is our Active Directory CA server. So right now I installed the Windows, but if you guys want, and I cannot promise, but if you let me see if I got one day where I just show you how you can do it with OpenSSL as well. Okay, but primary for our course, we will do it for Windows based.
I'd love to see it on OpenSSL because I have actually seen.
No problem. Then we will take one class of I guess only 1 hour is more than enough for that, where we can see OpenSSL as well. There are 4 or 5 commands that we need to push to get the certificates and all, because I need to create an entire new topology for it. So I just need to create your vManage, vSmart, vBond, and vEdge, and we will put it. No issues.
One more question. During the training, like if it's gonna be on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, how deep we are gonna go with respect to troubleshooting? Let's say we are adding some devices, right, to the topology. From, let's say we are adding a branch site. Now, somehow it's not able to register with the vBond. So are we gonna look into that scenarios as well? Okay, are we gonna, because packet captures we cannot run, the traffic is encrypted. So are we gonna some kind of debugs to see what exactly is going on, or some other kind of tools, which basically helps us to narrow down the problem. Because see, configuration, yes, that's an important part, but when during the configuration you are not able to get something working right, you have to troubleshoot it as well. So is that thing going to be under the scope as well during the training?
Yes. So definitely, when we go out of it, so we manage also show us faults, alarms, faults.
Mhm.
Okay. So we will
Mhm.
look to those faults. We will try to get, even I will try to induce fault.
Okay.
Okay. And then I will ask you guys for 10, 15 minutes or 20 minutes, try to find out the fault. So we will go in that as well.
Okay. And with respect to hands-on, how we guys can practice?
So they, for that, we are in the phase where we are thinking, and to be really frank with you guys, I don't want to lie it here.
Mhm.
We have the servers, okay? So we have a servers where you can do the practice. If you want to put it on your machine, you
Mhm.
need at least 8 cores and 64 GB of RAM.
Okay.
You can run it in 48 GB or 32 GB of RAM, but then you need to wait for every task, like for 2 minutes your vmanage gonna hang, because
Oh.
vmanage itself needs 16 GB. So we have our servers where we have 256 GB of RAM and 64 cores we have on a server, single server. So we are having a very high end servers, and we are running the things over it. So you guys can get access, but if you want to access on your system,
Mhm.
you need to be having this thing. And also we will not provide you any images
Okay.
and any license serial. That
Mm.
you need to contact Cisco and smart account.
Okay.
So for that you need to do it. We will not provide you any image or license or serial.
Mr. Shah, in your lab, are you using the 19 dot
Yes,
or the 20 series?
version 19 right now we installed it.
19.
Yes,
All right.
it doesn't matter. It's just having, because as far if you talk about the initial learning, it's okay, no problem. There's some of the more features that are in 20, so that is not a issue.
Just to clarify, the classes are Saturday and Sundays, right? Not Fridays,
Yes.
because one of the gentlemen just said Friday, Saturday,
No,
Sunday.
no. We're not right now. We not have any option of Friday. We will think out of it, but and
No,
even
no,
to
Saturday, Sunday is fine. We work, so
That's
it would
fine.
be
Yeah,
good.
that was my
yes,
question too.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday is fine. Yeah.
yes. So Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday we will do it.
What
Yeah,
is the
that's
timing?
fine.
What is the
What is the
timing?
order of the topics you're going to do? I know there's so many topics in
So
here.
for syllabus, for timing, and for all that costing of the course, or when we gonna cover, you guys can see the link in the chat. If you guys open the chat right now, there is a WhatsApp link and a WhatsApp group, as well as Sagar will paste the contact details as well, where you guys can do it. Like for these 4 things you need to contact Sagar, and there is a backend team which will
So
respond you ASAP out of it.
you can't share like are you going to still first cover CCNP and then move to SD-WAN and then CCIE? Just I
So
was just
see, for those who are taking the integrated batch, we definitely need to decide like when we gonna do it. So CCNP we are doing ENCOR plus NRC, right? And CCI also we are doing. So we will decide on it. Like if I can, I'm not sure right now how it goes, but like for example, we done with the IGRP, we done with OSPF, we done with BGP. Then I can take SD-WAN, because SD-WAN uses these concept. And if I not take this, then you guys having a problem, right? So those who don't know anything about these protocols, some people are having like that or as well. So definitely out after routing protocol and switching part, we're gonna do the SD-WAN.
Do you have DC course too?
Sorry. So DC course we are planning to launch in some months, in like 1 or 2 or 3 months. Right now we are not running a DC course, but definitely Sagar will tell you more about that.
Okay.
Hey guys,
So,
Sagar, right? So
So
those guys.
let me give the to Sagar, and Sagar will explain you more about the courses and all those things. So head it over to you, Sagar.
Yeah, guys. So those who are looking for CCNP or SD-WAN or CCI as a dedicated batch, so I would say go with the CCI module of ours, because in the CCI module you will get all the two included. So you will have ENCOR, NRC, and SD-WAN also included in the CCI batch. Okay, those who have already gone through my CCNP batch with ENCOR and NRC, you let me know. We will negotiate on some pricing part, because you don't have to go back once again with ENCOR and NRC. Rest, those who have joining for very first time, if your plans are to go with ENCOR, NRC, then SD-WAN, then CCI Lab, so I would suggest go with CCI Lab itself. Okay, and the benefit is, if let's say you are not good with your time management, do 1 or 2 courses now and come back in the later on months and complete the rest of the topics. Okay, so you're totally independent and can plan accordingly. You don't have to spend the next 4-5 months with us. You take a class for 2 months, might be the next SD-WAN you will get once again later on. You can join there, so somehow you can manage this total package. Okay, but if you want to enroll only CCNP, then you go with only that. If you want to go only with SD-WAN, then you're totally free to go with that. Okay, so I just told you, if in case your plans are for CCI, then directly go with CCI, so we can integrate the other two with this.
I'm just concerning about the lab access. Like you have already set up your lab, so how much time for us as a student to get access the lab?
ये क्या कर रहे हो बकवास हरकतें
Yeah, so
अपने माता को और अलीशा को देखो वाला
so guys, so for lab we provide both, that is a remote lab as well as the offline lab. Okay, so for remote lab, our lab trainer will contact you and he will provide you the lab access. So we are planning to keep it like daily 4 to 5 hours for those lab topology which are very intense in consuming RAMs. And also we will make some variation in the lab topology, and we can give it in a very smaller pieces, so you can also run it locally on your machine. If we give you the complete CCI lab, you may not be able to handle the complete nodes at a one shot, so we'll give you 2-3 different small pieces of the same lab where you can run accordingly. Okay, those who have local lab setup, we will provide our own remote server. So for CCNP, you get 2 months of access. For SD-WAN, you will get 1 month of remote access, and for CCI lab, you will get 3 to 4 months of remote lab. Okay.
Okay, for SD-WAN, we will get 1 month of access lab.
Yeah, kind of 200 hours. Okay, so if let's say let's say in a day, 4 to 5 days, 5 hours. So 5 hours into 30 comes around like 150 plus, right? So close to 200 hours you will get the access for.
So Sagar, for the SD-WAN lab, how many concurrent connections would be established? I know it's 256 gig of memory and high processing. So how many people would be able to do the labs concurrently?
So what we have is we have close to 5 servers.
Okay.
So around 10 or 15. I don't want to give a very high number. 10 to 15 concurrent students should be able to practice.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
And yes, guys, regarding the dates, we are starting the ENCOR module first, which is valid good for both CCNP and CCI, the ENCOR paper. Okay, because if you want to even attempt the CCI lab, you have to be a CCI written first. So CCI written is once you are ENCOR pass or ENCOR certified. So we are starting ENCOR first. This will be started from 27th, which is Saturday. Okay, Saturday of the coming weekend, I can say, 27th Feb. And the batch hours is at 8:30. We kept the demo specifically for 8:30. We wanted to see how is this timing going to be, and I think this timing is good for Saturday, Sunday. CST, EST, IST, a lot of time zones are okay with this time zone. So Encore will be started up on 27th Feb at 8:30 p.m. IST, and from 6th of March, we will start SD-WAN parallelly. SD-WAN will be started up at 11:30 p.m. IST. So the whole session would be like 3 to 4 hours. The Encore first, Encore will be 2 to 3 hours, and then a break of 30 minutes, and then SD-WAN for another 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Okay, so your SD-WAN should be getting completed in a month, and this Encore NRC will take you till 2 months, and then will immediately start with the CCI lab. So this is designed in such a way that someone who is going with CCI lab don't lose themselves in the
Do you mind to repeat the, excuse me, do you mind to repeat the dates when we start the SD-WAN, the date?
So I am not sharing my screen. So Shan, can you just write it over on your whiteboard? So 27th Feb, we are starting Encore at 8:30.
I'm saying the SD-WAN.
Yeah, so if you see the Shank's screen, so this is when we are starting Encore. Okay, and from 6th of March, uh, 11:30 p.m. Shank, you can mention 11:30 there.
So the Encore class and SD-WAN class together would be like 6-7 hour class?
No. It will be 4 to 4.5 hours, because the Encore will be shrink later on. After 6, we will just shrink this Encore class. So 8:30 to 11 would be your Encore, or 11:15 would be your Encore, and then we will start SD-WAN for 1 to 1.5 hour, or might be 2 hours. So kind of 4 to 4.5 hours.
And just to kind of clarify, is the learning curve really high for both of them running parallel, or is it something doable?
No, it's not. It's not that you have to mandatorily go with the 6th batch. Those students who are enrolling directly on only SD-WAN, then they can start this up on 6th. Okay, but if you want to enroll that CCI package, which I told, which starts with Encore, you guys have an option of enrolling in the coming up month also, because SD-WAN will be started up, running up in every, might be in a month, every time in a like two in a 2 months or something. So if you want, you take up this batch, or if you think you want to take up in the future, you can take after 1 month of time frame.
Okay, thank you, Sagar. This is Fawad. I've already enrolled in CCIE, so I was wondering how it's going to work. Thank you.
So if you don't want to start with 6th March, you take up in the next month.
Yeah, Sagar, in case of SD-WAN lab, I mean, in your remote server, you already simulated the MPLS, internet, and for all three transport mediums?
Yes.
Okay, so we can have an access onto that remote lab whenever we need to practice.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sagar, one question, like, see, I have an ESXi plus one laptop, so I can combine this both. Let's say controller will install in the ESXi with the controller and with the file from Cisco, and the lab simulator EVNG in the laptop. So the laptop EVNG should communicate to the ESXi. So something like that, we can do that.
If you're taking in a I mean, if you're in a network, then you can take it.
Yeah, same network. I have a physical switch as well.
Okay, so you can do that. You can do it. So our lab trainer can help you on building that.
Okay, so because my ESXi is just like 48 GB only, laptop is 32. So I think combine this, I can have sufficient memory maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sagar, one more question. How will you segregate the connection between the different learner? I mean, different student?
See, how it works is we will make a group for IST, different for EST, CST, and then we can make a time frame and we can give accordingly the session. Okay, session or lab.
Will it be in a group session or how it will be? Or it will be like individual can access and they can do their
it's
work
not
as other individual?
group thing. It's a one-to-one session. So you will have your own session. The other student from that same time zone will have his own session. So it's individual connections.
So it's not like a group study or something like that, right? For the lab.
I didn't get you. So do you mean you want to have a group session or do you want a individual session for lab?
Individual session, but how the other student will be acting? I mean,
no, we
do
have
the lab simultaneously.
There is option for doing that because we are providing the same for our automation batch and CCNP batch already. So every student will have their own access. So if so someone doing some changes on his account will not reflect on yours.
Okay.
And for the group studying, we have a Slack community where we will add all the students, all the enrolled students. So if you're stuck somewhere or if you wanna discuss on some scenarios, you are free to do that.
Okay.
And the total duration of the SD-WAN course is 1 month, right, Sagar?
Yeah, kind of 1 to 1.5 months. So Mr. Shank is the right person who will give you the idea.
Okay.
All right,
Guys, it
guys.
totally depends on your participation and how we are approaching and if we are getting issues or a lot of things. So it will be 1 to 1.5 months.
During the practice, the labs, during the 1 month, or if someone runs into a trouble and problem, or are we going to have help from you guys? If something is not working that someone was practicing, are you going to help during the lab?
Yeah, so we are available who can assist you. Okay, so we have trainers available in different time zones. So if you're stuck with some of the topics, or if you want to if you have some issue with your offline labs, so you can definitely reach out, and our trainer will fix it up.
Okay.
All right, guys. So I have dropped the WhatsApp group. That's the simplest way where we all can get connected. So if you want to know anything about the class that we conducted, so those who have joined only for the first time, we started this demo from Friday. We started up with the topic from ENCOR. Then on Saturday, we had a topic discussed from CCI. And today is the third class, which was on SD-WAN. Okay. So all the recordings are on our YouTube channel. You can go and watch it. So I would say get connected on the WhatsApp so that I can share all these things on the group as well. Okay. So if you open your Zoom chat, there is a link where I have displayed the WhatsApp group. So you have to join that. That's the simplest way where we can all connect. And Mr. Shan can then start from the Saturday his classes. Okay. All right, guys. So if there is no doubt, then we can wind up. Are we good? Are we good? Any further doubts?
Thank you, Sagar.
Okay, guys, fine. So thank you, everyone. Have a nice day. Enjoy your weekend. Take care.